Hello, researchers. You have been studying your teen activists, gathering different pieces of information so that you can develop a deep, compact snowball of information to eventually turn into a podcast to teach other people. So yesterday, we continued to take some notes as well as add in a few additional components to how that research might go. Let me take a quick look with you at that chart from yesterday. Yesterday, I introduced the areas of research. So since we're telling the story of our activist, we want to not only use nonfiction text structures to help us say the main ideas that we're learning, to convey meaning, but to actually lead our listeners through a story. How our activists got started, how they built momentum, and ultimately how they made a difference. So today, what I want to do is continue some of that work, but moving from the researching and the note-taking into the drafting that could potentially become your podcast. So yesterday, I taught you that as you're researching and as you're looking at your different sources, you're learning all about your topic, which is your activist. And you're asking yourself questions like, what do I already know? And how is what I'm learning here connecting to what I've been learning so far? What's new? With all of that, I'm going to go back to my notes from yesterday and think a little bit about what I already know, but actually spend some time thinking about what I don't know yet and how I might use today to get those final pieces of information to make the most compact snowball of research possible. So I'm going to take a look at what I started to take notes on yesterday. As you remember, for homework last night, I assigned this, and during class, we tried this. I started to take notes on my activist, Darius Brown, by thinking a little bit about how Darius got started, built momentum, and makes a difference. So as you can see here, I have a lot about how he makes a difference. It was pretty easy from the videos I was watching and the articles I was reading to gather some information on how he makes a difference. I started to find some ways he built momentum. I think also that part of his story really takes off because social media was a big component of his work as an activist. But one area that I don't feel like I have as much about is getting started. So you might take a moment right now to look at your research, to think about what you know a lot about already, like how I have here, and what you maybe need some more research on. I need some more research or research time on how Darius got started. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to go to an article that I've already read. You could do this, what I'm doing now, with an article you've already read, a video you've already read, or a new one. And I'm going to see if I can maybe mine it for some details to add on to how Darius got started. So before I go in, I'll show you what I have so far from this article. These are from my notes from my notebook. Darius got started when he was 2 years old. He was diagnosed with certain learning delays, comprehension delays, and a fine motor delay. He loved to copy what his sister did. He took up sewing to spend more time with her, and also this helped him to develop his fine motor skills. Then on his TV, he was watching and he noticed that from Hurricane Irma, there were a lot of displaced dogs, and he wanted to help displaced dogs find homes. But the biggest thing for him was that he didn't have enough money to maybe donate. So instead, he started to find ways that he could help out, like making bow ties to make these dogs seem more exciting to adopt. So let me go back and see if I can gather any more information and actually add it in, make it more compact. This is the article where I got a lot of this information from. Let me read this with you here. Darius has been using his sewing talents to help animals get adopted, but now the 13-year-old is relying on those skills to help humans fight the coronavirus pandemic. Interesting. I didn't know about this part. Darius, who is best known for his organization, Bow and Paws, where he dresses shelter animals up in homemade bow ties so they shine while seeking adoption, has recently shifted his production from the pet accessory to masks for healthcare workers. Okay, so I'm getting a couple things here that I can add to that section. One, I didn't know the name of his organization, so I should definitely add that to my notes so far. So he started to make this organization. I'm gonna just add it right here. I'll put it in a color so I know for sure today that this is new information. He I'll put it here. So he made this program. It's called Bow and Pause Organization. Make this even brighter so I can really see. Okay. And I also just learned that he did this during the pandemic too. So that could add to this section, but it also could add to building momentum and making a difference. Let me first add this to this section. Where might this go? What section could I, or what bullet could make this, could this information fit into? What bullet could this maybe make more compact? Maybe new problem mission. I think I'll just do it right under here. Like do an add-on. Okay. So the coronavirus pandemic also became an opportunity for him to apply his sewing skills and his organization to helping others by sewing masks for healthcare workers. I also am just going to make a note above, like for making a difference. One thing that I'm learning that's new is that he applied this not just to Australia, like the koalas from different wildfires, but Darius also applied this to the coronavirus, making masks for healthcare workers. Okay. So now maybe you can help me with this. I'm going to read a little bit more. And as I do, can you help me to think, what else am I learning? It could be something that I'm adding, I could add on to how he got started, or it could be another subtopic like building momentum or making a difference. Will you think with me as I do this? Cool. Okay. The teen announced his new plans in a post on Instagram, March 28th, explaining that he felt compelled to help after hospitals around the nation started experiencing a shortage on masks and other personal equipment, PPE. Today, I am working on creating surgical masks to donate since the hospitals have a shortage on masks, he wrote, beside a photo of himself wearing a mask and working on a sewing machine. This first one came out great. Great. Okay. Will you just think for a moment, maybe talk to the person that you're sitting by, or just think for a second with me. What could we add this to? Is this helping to us to understand how he got started? Is this helping us understand how he built momentum? Or is this helping us to understand how he made a difference? Think for a moment. Okay. I'm thinking that we should add this in to how he made a difference, because especially it says, today I'm working on creating surgical masks to donate since the hospitals have a shortage on masks. I feel like that tells us what exactly the objective was. And I feel like this is a great opportunity actually for me to find a piece of text evidence to add to my snowball effect. So I'm going to go to this section. Actually, maybe I'll make a new section, making a difference. And I'm going to try to pull this quote and write off of it. Today, I'm working on creating surgical masks to donate since the hospitals have a shortage on masks. Okay, let me try to put this in. Today, I am making surgical masks to donate since the hospitals have a shortage. And I'm going to say where this came from. Darius said in an interview with, what's the source I'm using? Let's just check it, with People Magazine on April 23rd, 2022. April of 2020. So I could keep it there. I also could add this if I was still taking notes via template or in my notebook. I could add this here as a sub bullet like that. Okay, so here's what I'd like you to do as you go off today. I would like you to do what I'm doing by going back to articles, going back to videos, and mining them for even more information to make your understanding so solid. You might add in information to notes you already have, like how I'm doing here. You also might start to compile information in bullets, or maybe even starting to, as you see I'm doing here, like this little bullet as well, start to compile bullets that actually sound a little bit more like a writing piece. So maybe you're taking notes in your notebook, maybe you're taking notes online, but whatever you're doing, you're adding in information to make your snowball even more compact. Push yourself to find new information as well as text evidence to help you really strengthen your research notes. Great. I can't wait to see what you come up with.